自有味，红草娘心跳。
Okay. See, I didn't say all right. I started to say all right, but I changed it. Okay. Welcome to episode 243. This episode, what is this episode about? This is going to be about the grind. We're going to talk about the grind in this episode. The grind. Be right back. Breakfast. Got the breakfast, got the coffee. You knew the coffee was here somewhere. This episode, what is going to be in this episode? We're going to be talking about the grind. What is the grind is the thing. What is the grind? Just a spur of the moment thought. I've been doing a lot of my auto captions. I've been manually going in and setting them. I talk terribly. People tell me. See, I just did it. I start one sentence, and then I completely interject another sentence into the sentence that I started, and sometimes I'll interject another sentence inside the sentence that I interjected inside the sentence that I originally started. Auto caption. I also do that double thing where I'll. Yeah, no, that was not an edit. That's how I talk. The grind. The grind. The grind is the thing that you've got to do when you've got to do the thing. Whatever the thing is, you've got to do it. The grind. I imagine this is a term of an expression, a term of expression. Yeah, that's another thing I do. I make up new, completely different terms of expression in the middle of videos. The grind. So imagine it was like an ox talking to another ox, and they woke up one morning, and this is back in the days when they would put an ox on a thing, and it would go walk around in a circle all day long. It would walk in that circle, and the big thing, and it was turning the grinding wheel. And I've seen videos of this where the people would be standing there with their little baskets of grain, and as the wheel would go by, they would be pouring this stuff behind the wheel, and then the wheel would come by and crush it, and then they would be sweeping it and collecting it. The grind for the ox is that he goes to that place and he walks around in that circle all day long, because that is his duty, that is his job. Could be her job, I guess. Could be a female ox, it doesn't have to be a him. His or her duty is to walk around in that circle and do that day after day after day after day. Fortunately for a lot of us, the grind isn't quite that repetitious. But whatever the grind is, we've got to go to it and do it. We've got to go to it and do it on a daily basis. And for me, the grind is kind of cool because I'm grinding my way through a lot of different things. So the routine is get up, YouTube stuff, lesson stuff, teach the lesson stuff, edit, data, post, and YouTube stuff, and all that. And then I'm also working on my SILIAR project. But for me, like the lesson I prepared for today is different. And the lesson Mr. Peterson added into today's ICP curriculum is different than what either of us did yesterday or the day before. But for that ox, it's walking in that circle every day. The grind is the grind is the grind. That's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. I probably already just did talk about it in this episode. That is the grind. All right, it is time for... I'm having a Cliff Bar today, and I'm having the coffee as always. I will check in next time I check in. Goes without saying, doesn't it? There's a lot of things that I could go without saying, but I say them anyway. Also, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but in ICP lab today. We're doing a very, very cool lab. Well, I'm gonna bring this grind video to a close with just a couple more comments. Whatever your job is, whatever the routine is that is your reality, you've got to approach that with an understanding that that's your thing and it's your responsibility. And if you don't like it, then you can take steps to find something different. And whatever that different thing is, that will become your new responsibility, your new reality. I'm in a situation where my grind is different on a day-to-day basis in some levels, but it's take attendance, see who's there, do the lesson, make discipline, stand in the hall in between classes. All those things that I do on a daily basis are all the same. That's the way it is. That's why they call it a job. You get a job and you go to work. It's not fun time, it's not playtime. It's the grind. If you can find a job that gives you more than a paycheck, like I have, then that's awesome. I'm gonna end with a story. I worked at Target for a while, not because I thought working at Target would be awesome, because I had two little boys in diapers, and one of them was still eating, still in baby formula. It was a very expensive part of my life. There was a lady who worked there. She was about my age, maybe a year or two younger, and she was a chemist. Ironically, she was a chemist. She worked for a chemical company in Memphis. And she had a really good salary that paid for her life, and it paid for her retirement and her investments. And that was all coming out of her chemist salary. I asked her, "Why are you working at Target?" She goes, "I take my Target checks, and once a month I take the weekend off and I travel. And I use my Target checks to travel." Now, she had an agenda. She had a reason that she went in and organized the merchandise on the shelves and did the restock thing. There was a reason that drove her. She did not necessarily enjoy working at Target, but she did it because it gave her the capacity to do something that she did want to do. That's a neat attitude about jobs. They will give you the resources to do what you want to do, and that might be pay your bills, and that might be have food on the table, and that might be have heat in the winter and maybe air conditioning in the summer. Those might be the things that your job does, but you do them because that is what you want. That's what you're working for, to take care of your family. It's probably not, may not, could not, possibly isn't fun, but it's still the grind, and you still have to do it. Do what you got to do to get what you want out of the things around you, and more motivational cliches. Put them all here. Listen to them on repeat. Do all those things. Have a great day. I will see you after you have clicked the like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, share this video with someone else, and left me a comment. Then, after that, I will see you in the next episode.